Welcome, everybody. Mr. Holmes here, going to talk to you about the masterpiece of the week. This week, we are looking at Edward Hopper and his painting, Nighthawks. Now, no one captured the isolation of the individual within the modern city like Edward Hopper. His imagery of figures within urban settings go well beyond their role as modern cityscapes, exposing the underbelly of the human experience. He injected significance and the weight of the individual's existential being in the modern metropolis, or in the country life, into what otherwise might appear to be a straightforward images of everyday life. Hopper was born in 1882 in New York, and he died in 1967, also in New York City. He worked on his art almost all the way up until his death. His style is considered realism, although it does lean towards abstract expressionism. Now, a way that you can tell that you're looking at a Hopper piece of art is by noticing Hopper's individuals. They're usually depicted isolated and disconnected from their environments, either literally by glass windows or metaphorically through formal means, are manifestations of the artist's focus on the solitude of modern life. The artist's work acts as a bridge between the interest in everyday life by the contemporary artists and the exploration of mood by later existential artists. Now, what we're saying here is, although all his works are grounded in reality and in a very contemporary setting, we see a woman by herself in the top right and a diner or restaurant of some sort, right? And down below, two patrons enjoying what looks like no meal yet in another restaurant. These are not magical or special places, and yet the way that he's able to create them and illustrate and paint these scenes, he creates a sense of existentialism. He hints and alludes that there's something more beneath the surface. Here's Edward Hopper himself, and here's one of my favorite quotes from the gentleman. He says, "Great art is the outward expression of an inner life in the artist." So this is Nighthawks. This is the painting we're talking about again. Right now, it is located at the Art Institute of Chicago. Now, the significance of this painting was recognized very soon after its completion, when the Art Institute of Chicago bought it for $3,000. So they got a heck of a steal on this painting at the time. Of course, nowadays it's worth way more than that, and it is the most sought after and requested piece of artwork inside the Art Institute of Chicago. Hopper has inspired countless painters, photographers, filmmakers, set designers, dancers, writers, and musicians. And they even coined a phrase, quote, Hopperesque, is now widely used to connotate images that are reminiscent of Hopper's moods and subjects. And here we see four examples of the painting Nighthawks in The Simpsons, Lego, Star Wars, and even the Sesame Street Gang, um, taking this classic image and recreating it for their own characters. Let's do a deep dive now on this painting. This is Nighthawks. Now, Nighthawks depicts four figures in a sparsely furnished diner at night. A single light source illuminates the interior and spills outwards towards the exterior. This work, with the simplicity of setting and the dramatic lighting, excellently illustrates Hopper's interest in the themes of alienation, melancholy, and ambiguous relationships. None of the four figures in this picture interact with one another, and we are given to understand that this is the norm and that we are witnessing an unfolding narrative with limited emotional development. Open ended narratives of this nature are typical of Hopper and demand the active role of the viewer in completing the story. Hopper doesn't give us much information here. He wants you, the viewer, to decipher and pick apart what's actually happening. Now, like all art, it can be very subjective. One of us might view this painting and see a completely different story than those of us sitting next to us. Nighthawks is considered the embodiment of existential art, capturing the alienation and loneliness indicative of modern urban life. Now, remember, Edward Hopper's artwork is considered to be realism, but it does border existentialism, and this is a perfect example of that. Hopper did not go out of his way to set out or express a particular emotional state in this image. He is quoted in saying that, quote, unconsciously, probably, I was painting the loneliness of a large city, end quote. So when Hopper created this piece, he didn't try to make it sad. He didn't try and make it moody. He just painted what he felt. And probably he was feeling the loneliness of a large city, living most of his life in New York itself. Once again, everybody, this was Nighthawks by Edward Hopper. I hope you learned something, and I will talk to you all real soon.